All right, here we are with the Who You Got podcast, back with another edition. We got Jimmy, we got Ryan. Hey, if you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button for us. Check out our YouTube channel, Who You Got with Greg and Jimmy, and follow us on X at Who You Got 33. Did I get everything, Jimmy, or did I miss some? Don't follow us on Instagram because Jimmy's not going to ever post anything. Is there anything else I missed where you can find us, Jimmy?
I think you covered it all. Pretty thorough.
All right. Hey, look, I was happy. Jimmy was a little testy on the last episode, but RDR won his fight, so Jimmy's got to be a happy guy. Minus 400 came in, Jimmy. Line parlays exploded this time.
Yeah. No, he did win. I thought the line should go the other. I thought the value was the other way, but I will say the leads is the leads done. I don't he had a nice run there. It looked like he was going to be a challenger or contender, and I think he's just probably cooked now. Tough guy, but for whatever reason, he seemed to run out of gas. And RDR, after a couple of losses, I thought he might go the other way, but he grew his hair out, looks sharp, and came out and whooped the Leeds' ass.
He blew him up. I needed a round and a half there, but I didn't get it.
Did you watch the fight, Ryan?
All of them, yep.
Yeah, he looked, I mean, he's big for the weight class, but it's still shocking how big he looks for the weight class.
He looked very both focused and accurate. Those are the two things I would say.
Yep. I mean, maybe he works his way back into contention.
So I'm going to address
the question. At least it was thought of highly. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
If you boys don't mind, I'm going to address a question that I got real quick. So someone said, why do you always lead off with UFC? Well, I'm going to answer that. I'm glad you asked. Because I want to get you to listen to the show a little bit more before we get to what you want to hear, because I got to get some ads to run so they can play their casino things, adult diapers, whatever they're advertising on here, so me and Jimmy can make 8 cents per show. So that's why. So, Jimmy, how about this week? What do we like?
This is a tough one. So, Umar Nurmagomedov is fighting Song Yadong. I got to tell you, I think I'd take Song Yadong plus 5.5 is likely what I would do. I mean, he's a big underdog, but he's a tough guy. You know, if you look at, and I don't know, Ryan, if you've seen any of his recent fights, but his losses are good losses, right? Or how, if you want to look at it that way, he lost a decision to Peter Yan, who's the champion right now, and he lost to O'Malley, the former champ. He submitted Davison Figueiredo, who's on the downside of his career, certainly, and he beat Henry Cejudo, who's also on the downside of his career. But I mean, he's a really tough guy. I don't remember the scorecard on this one. I wish I knew it. But anyway, I don't know. I might take him the plus 5.5 at plus 110. I think that'd probably be my move.
Because Nurmagomedov has been just a beast for a while. And Song definitely is. Like, he looks the part. And the fights we've seen, for the most part, he just looks tough and well-rounded and all that. But Nurmagomedov is he's in that same camp. They're just tough.
Yeah, you're just basically
can't bet against him, especially as a minus 450. If you're gonna pick some, hey, when like I did with RDR last week, I picked knockout round 2. Unfortunately, took care of him under 2 minutes, just pounding
pretty quick.
So maybe you think Nurmagomedov, I don't know, maybe Song can take him to round 3, and you find a way to bet that. But that's the only way I see betting this personally. I agree with you. Song is a great underdog. So if you're pairing it with something that you think is a lock and you get some better odds, maybe you juice it up to plus 600. I can deal with that. But other than that, I don't know. I kind of just take my money and pick one or the other, and imagine to lose it if I put my money on Song, and imagine to win it if I put my money on Umar.
No, I agree. The worry I would have about taking the 5.5, like I'm talking about, is that he gets finished, of course, right? But I don't think he will. And when he fought O'Malley and Petr Yan, he took a round off. There were 3-round fights, but he took a round off each of them. So, and there's a champ and the former champ. I mean, he's a really good fighter. So to think that it could go 49-46, 49-46, and 48-47, right? And we get the 5.5, and it goes the distance. That's the way I would lean. I'm probably going to avoid this fight, but for anybody that wants to bet, that's my initial take on it. I mean, so, again, Umar could finish him. It's certainly possible. Let's look at his recent history. I looked at it before the fight, but I doubt it because his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights, all decisions. So chances are it's going the distance, and that's why the over 4.5 rounds is juiced minus 260, right? So
Yeah, but
you got to
Song's
think it's
actually super tough too. But Nurmagomedov, he might be in that kind of idea. Like, let me make a statement here, and I don't doubt that he can do it. It's a tough one. It just basically feels. How do you feel in the moment? It's approaching, whatever that fight's going to go off. Let's call it. It's probably going to go off 11:30, so you got to get your bet in by 10:30, 11 at the latest. Throw whatever you're feeling good about in that moment, and you're either going to like secure a little bet or you're going to make 3.5.
So just to cut in for 1 sec, I think this is an overseas thing because the main event I have listed at 8:45 in the morning.
It's in Russia,
yeah,
if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's Saturday morning, 8:45 Eastern.
China.
Okay, sorry.
It's in China. Song Yadong's from China. You've got to think he's going to show up to fight. That's got to help. I mean, to a point.
You're right. Might be.
So this would be a bet you want to get in Friday night, to Ryan's point, at 11 o'clock. So when you can wake up, you can pour your coffee and see if this guy can pull off a plus 440 upset.
Thank you for saying that. But at the same point, what I mean is like in the moment, whenever you're making the bet, obviously we have to figure out the time zone an hour or two before. But like, do it how you're feeling. It really could go either way. And if you're going to put it big. Don't put pizza money on this. Pick one and feel good about it and like ride a tide or move on.
This is what I can contribute to these UFC talks. If that's the take, you bet the underdog. If it can go either way and they're throwing plus 440 at you, the only play is the underdog. That's the only play.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you got plus 440? I got plus 350.
I got plus 4, but that's why I said I'm taking plus 5.5 points at plus 110. That's why I think he can get 2 rounds on one scorecard.
I got you.
And I think it's going to be a close fight. I think he's a tough enough guy. Like I said, he took a round off both of our last 2 previous champs. Well, not last 2. He didn't fight Philly. Umar did and lost a decision. But Song's been finished once in the last 10 years. Like, so you could just lay the 260 on the over 4.5 rounds. And
5 rounds,
it's almost certainly going to catch.
I know this isn't probably a very obvious answer, but Jimmy, just confirm for everyone who's listening. If you take plus 5.5 and a submission or a knockout happens, it's an automatic loser, correct? It has to go to cards.
Yeah, correct. It's an automatic loser. Yep, it is. But like I said, if you look at the history, Song hasn't been finished. He's been finished once in 10 years, and Umar is the heavy favorite. Probably won't get finished. And if Song does, there's a better chance Song, as far as I'm concerned, gets the finish.
So that, to me, again, is where I can chime in here. I know it's juicy to Jimmy's point, but if you're going to take 5.5 points, now you're relying on judges going your way, where if you think it's going to the end anyways, and Jimmy's telling you it probably is, maybe this is the one where you just lay the 260, to Ryan's point, maybe you make a little bit of a bigger bet and just live or die with it going over 4.5.
Yep. I don't hate it.
Is there anything else on the card we're addressing tonight, or just the main event?
No, just the main event.
Yeah, I agree.
The rest of it is not worth talking about, really.
No.
Yeah,
Respect, I'll watch it, but I'm not really living or dying by it.
And being overseas, again, it's going to be hard to watch for a lot of people, so a lot of people probably will pass on it from a betting standpoint. Before I move on to the next topic, just quickly, I'm going to crowbar this in. Sorry, I didn't put it on the rundown list. Is there anything from a U.S. Open standpoint, Jimmy, that you're kind of looking at now that Sinner's not playing? He's withdrawn. He said, see you next season, basically. And not because the injury. Everyone told him, doctors were like, no, you're good. And he was like, yeah, well, I don't feel good, so I'm not going to play. So he's not playing. So all the odds kind of readjusted. Carlos is coming back after injury. So you're getting a good price on him if you think he's going to be back to his old self. He's plus 200. Djokovic, 750 to see if he can get his 25th here. Is there anyone that you're looking at? I'm happy because I already made a play midsummer on Taylor Fritz, 25-1. He's down to 12-1 now because of the withdrawal. So I got that in pocket. I know a lot of sharps like FAA, 30-1. Now he's down to 25-1. Anyone you're looking at on the men's side now that the top dog is not playing?
That is a very, very good question. Let's see. Why are my futures not pulling up here?
Well, if I'm going to be so bold while he's looking look, we got Djokovic. Come on, guys. You just got to go for the dude. He's number 25. He's 39 years old, for God's sakes, at tennis, which if anybody plus 30 hasn't played tennis recently, go get on a tennis court for 10 minutes. Just hit the ball back and forth. There's a lot of movement in there. He's got 24 majors. Sinner's out. Alcaraz is coming off injury. I mean, he's probably like a +7, +8, +9-1, something like that. Like
Joker, 750.
750. That's the odds to the date. So throw that out there. And I wouldn't just throw pizza money at this one either. And my wife is of this mindset. She's starting to switch me over. Even though I lost a bunch of bets last week, I ended up plus, I don't laugh, plus $5, which I lost 2 bets that were 100% my way. And
5 minutes.
Only one made me, and it's the one she said, "Go big, you ass." Something like that. And I'm editing.
Well, I guess. What do you think about the Alcaraz? I mean, coming back, plus 200 seems a little bit too rich for somebody just coming back.
So, to me, with Sinner out, this is the time to take a chance because you're not going to get Alcaraz and Sinner in a final, obviously. So maybe this is where you take a shot. So Fritz, FAA, even. You know, he's only the 4th betting choice, but if you want to go with an American, Ben Shelton maybe at 9-1.
I don't think an American's the answer, but hedge your bets here for sure. And I do have experience in this. I mean, I played tennis when I was in Hong Kong. It was hot as hell on rooftops, and I'm not being funny. So, like, understand that, like, 5, 6, 7 matches, whatever that number is, to get to the final and win it is a bear. So if you've had an injury recently, that's a problem. That's something you're going to have to overcome. So it's just reason to put money somewhere else.
I'd throw a half a unit on Gaboli. I don't think he's going to win, but Flavio made it to the finals of French. That was a good match versus Zverev, and for a long shot, why not? He's been to the top of the mountain when the leader was out. Maybe he can get back there. After that, I don't think Djokovic gets it done. I wish he would. I think we've seen this happen with aging stars where they can get but so close, and then they just can't put it over the top. But it's still awesome to watch them play, and you want to watch them play because they're legends.
You in particular talk about value all day long. Like, the value's not there. That's the problem.
Yeah, I like your Taylor Fritz pick too, though. I mean, I know you said you've already got him. You
got
him
way 25-1.
Yeah,
that's a huge move because now what is he? Way less than that.
12.
Yeah, there you go.
And at the top, I'd go back to Zverev. I mean, he played. He had a chance at Wimbledon. He was right there. He won the French. I mean, he's playing good tennis.
Yeah.
So I don't see why. I would take him at 320 over Alcaraz at 200, and then root for the rematch. Throw a couple of bucks on Flavio.
And then on the women's side, for me, I'm gonna fade Sabalenka again. I like what I saw in Cincinnati. I hate doing it because she always is a thorn in my side in these majors, but I think I'm gonna ride with Coco at 5-1. I don't know.
Really?
I keep thinking she's gonna do it, and I keep being wrong.
She played so well in Cincinnati.
I know.
And that's hard. That's hard court to get ready for this one. I think maybe this is it.
What about Anisimova?
I like her too. I had her last year. 16-1. I got a ticket with Pagula and the Bills. I do it every year. So I got that. Maddie Keys just can't get her life together. So I got no faith in her. I actually might fade her in round 1 or 2 and see if she gets picked off. She just is not playing good tennis.
Yeah. I always when I was a kid, I watched a lot of tennis and then I always faded in the US Open because school was starting and things were starting to happen in football training camp. But I mean, I was always locked into the French Open and Wimbledon.
Me too.
And I paid attention to the US Open, just never nearly as close. There was so much going on.
I have to say, for people that don't watch tennis, it's certainly not, well, in my opinion, and I have bunches of kids, well advertised anymore. It's not like pushed to you. Wherever I ran across it, I obviously played as a kid, but those 4 majors, they are really fun to watch. And the Australian, it's tough, different time zone, etc. They try and favor us, but the U.S. Open's so much fun to watch. Wimbledon is fantastic. The French and all that sliding left and right, so much stamina. It is super duper athletic. For those of you who want to call tennis players like hobbyists, that's not a thing.
It's actually really hard to get into the U.S. Open now. Like, it's like from a popularity standpoint, like even on the fan days, they're not guaranteeing you watching spots like for the early rounds.
Sorry, you meant like watching, and not like playing. Sorry, I missed that.
No. I mean both, but I'm saying like it's good that tennis is gaining popularity. It's somehow gaining popularity, even though it doesn't seem like they advertise it to your point as much as it seems.
This is a sidebar, and I'm sorry about this, but like, I have to say, we were up at my parents' house last week, and they have this little barn that they built recently, which, long story short, my nephews put up a pickleball net. And when I tell you, my 78 and 77-year-old mother, I'm sorry, my father's 78, but they were playing, with my kids, it was awesome. Like, what a fun thing. And because they don't have to, run 10 feet, they have to move 2.5 feet and be able to reach and be reasonably athletic. My mother, who is, I don't know what she weighs now or how tall she is. She's tiny. But, like, she smoked my kids. Smoked them. And my kids are athletic. And they went, Dad, what did Mimi just do? I said, you made you guys look bad. That's what she did. I don't know what to tell you. And by the way, Bappa, who's had his own issues, like, also made you look bad. They're like, we don't know what to do. So my point is this, that tennis is very difficult and fun, and pickleball is something that's like a little bit more casual, kind of recreational. But don't think for a minute as you're listening to this that going out in there and playing, we all know running 100 meters at whatever age we are is not easy. But playing a full tennis set, not easy either. So show some respect.
Well, good news. I just got invited for pickleball to be a doubles partner. Someone wants to get me into it. I'm going to do it. I'll let you know.
You got to tell me all about that.
But I've heard even in doubles, you still get a hell of a workout doing it for a couple hours.
It's quick athletic. It's like what is it? Fast twitch muscles. It's all like quick, doo-doo, doo-doo, like ping pong, but not tennis. It's somewhere in between. I'm
going to do it.
Have fun.
We'll let you know how it goes. If it's dumb, I'll stop playing. But if it's good, I'll keep going.
So I do know this, that when you go to some of these things, the way it works is like in men's leagues or whatever, you have your paddle, it's labeled, let's call your number 3, I'm number 7 or whatever it is. And you put your paddle down and like that game comes up, you pop out, 3 and 7 are playing together on this side and 4 and 9 are playing on this side, and you kind of just keep doing your thing and you toggle the points for the night. So that's how it works.
Sounds like a swingers party.
Yeah,
it does in a very weird way, but my idea is like it's quick. It's not like 45-minute game.
Also like a swingers party.
Right.
Whatever, man. Like you guys can make this dirty all you want. I have a healthy life at home with my 4 kids, so you guys can do what you want with that.
Well, to the person who invited me, who listens to the show, if I have to throw my keys in a bowl, I'm out.
Not your keys, but it's a very fun game. So whoever's listening, if you did that, make sure he has a good time.
I'm glad you
can be an asshole.
I got it.
All right. So I got one quick one for golf. I hope you saw this, looked at it, but I got to applaud the new commissioner. Well done. I don't know why we have to wait for 2028 and couldn't just pull this off for next year, but fine. But going to a new format at the end of the season, well done. If you didn't hear, there's going to be a final event with 90 guys to start the playoffs, if you will, to get a top 32 spot. We're going to crown a regular season champ. Then we're going to go to a match play format. We're going to get 8 groups of 4, top 2 from each group, move to the next week, and we go just like we used to go. Round of 16, round of 8, semis on Saturday, finals on Sunday. Thank you, God. This is the way a championship should be decided. This is how every club in America decides their champion. So thank God that we're going to do this at the end of a PGA event. And I'll tell you right now, this is going to bring so many more viewers to the TV sets, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'll want your reactions after I say it, because I think this will be like, oh, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Sometimes we turn on these events, and some guy runs away with it, and we're like, all right, well, this is dumb. Well, that's not going to happen anymore at least for the first few days, because there's going to be so many matches that matter, and especially the first week where we're watching these round robins go on to qualify for the second week. So we won't have this guy get out, to a 7-shot lead and us be like, well, will he come back? Should I even flip it on Sunday? That's why I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think it's great. The 90 players retain their card for the next year. It all works. What I didn't see, I'm sure I could have dug deeper, is timing wise. Is it going to extend the season?
No, it'll be the same last 3 weeks as right now.
Okay, got it. All right, cool. I love it.
Me too. Something fun to look forward to in August.
Listen,
because I was one of the ones who always said to you, Jimmy, privately, I was so pissed when they ripped away that match play event in March. I used to love that event in Tech. It was in Arizona for a while, then it moved to that Texas course. That was a great event, and they took it right off the schedule. I was so mad when they got rid of that.
Whatever it's called, #Greg. Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Wait until 2028. What are these idiots' problems? This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I read it today. I got home like 6 o'clock, 6:05, and I'm going, okay, I gotta prep. I said, holy crap! Look look what the PGA did, according to Greg. And I said, "What? I trust Greg, but I got to verify him." And I verified. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is amazing! How fun is this that the best player could lose out if they have a bad week or two? It's amazing. It's moving it to the NCAA basketball, but not that far, right? Like,
yeah,
I love it. I was so excited.
It's PGA meets March Madness meets World Cup. That's what it is.
And fairly too. It's not too far one way or the other, in my opinion, right? It's blending them all.
And I'm guessing it has to do with contracts with sponsors at certain courses, and that's why they had to wait an extra year. That's
100%. They had the events planned out already. They already got the sponsorships. They couldn't cancel.
Here's my problem, and with both our current organizations and other organizations, I'm sure this is the problem, right? Just be transparent about it. Say, hey, we're locked into we have contractual obligations, and put it in the news. Put it out there. We have contractual obligations. So here's what we're doing, and here's why it's happening in 2028. But we think you'll like this, and here's why. Do a better job of just coming forward with it.
That's fair. That should have been part of the article, probably.
Yeah, like here's where we were, here's where we're at now, here's where we're going, and we hope you like it.
So this was for our boy Chris, but he couldn't join the show tonight, and that's fine. Hopefully he's going to listen. Here's what I learned this week, Chris. Even Lane Kiffin is more important than Halliburton, because Kiffin will be nationally televised, his first game at LSU.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you feel about that, Jimmy?
I think that's hilarious. I think he should be. I mean, he's making some noise right now, and he's, as he always does.
This is what he does.
That's kind of his thing. But, yeah.
More on the SEC later.
Listen, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What I was going to say was, like, an NBA franchise, there's 5 guys that are primarily on the court, and probably 2 of those you really, really care about. So you start losing those guys, it's a big problem. But a college coach, college specifically, not NFL, are recruiting people through their fingers all over the country. Much bigger challenge to create that whole system again versus losing one primary NBA player.
Well, Lane Kiffin's a character. That's why everyone's interested in seeing how it was at LSU.
But positionally, we got to talk about, right? We can't talk about the person.
Jimmy can yell at me all he wants after this sentence comes out of my mouth. If I never saw Tyrese Halliburton dribble a basketball again for the rest of my life, I would not care one bit.
Me neither. IDC.
Yeah, I said it last show. His only good run was that, and it was great. It was a playoff run. He took him to the final. He played great, but that was his moment. He was not even thought of a superstar going into those playoffs, and then he was gone for a year. And very few people outside of Indiana care about Indiana. No offense, Indiana.
Yeah, and this was my one NBA thing I threw on here for this week. Clay goes to the Heat, but I mean, he's 182. Do we care at this point? I mean, is it going to matter at all, Jimmy, in your opinion?
No, it's not. It's literally not going to matter at all. He started 8 games last year. He had his worst. He shot under 40% from the field, not just from threes.
Right.
Now he shot under. He shot under 39 from threes, which was his worst, I believe, in his career. He scored like 11 points a game, and he's a year older. Like it doesn't matter at all. He's not
more than 20 like true minutes a game at this point, right?
Probably not. And like I said, if he can get his stroke back, because he was a great shooter, he could be the Ray Allen in the corner that they just dumped the ball to, but he didn't do that well last year.
That's a great comparison, though. It's kind of where they stuck Ray at the end of his career. They said, "Hey, just go sit in the corner. We'll get you the ball," and he just cashed him in all day. That's a good call. I don't think he has that. I don't think he has that in him like Ray did, but we'll see. Go ahead, Ryan. What were you gonna say?
I have to put this out there. Like, I know we always talk about the best of the best, right? And by that, I mean, the NBA has X amount of teams, and maybe we talk about 60 players in the whole season, right? And then a couple here and there when they make a play and do whatever in a special game. But Klay Thompson's been great for a long time, but he's not amazing, right? So we've got to just respect the contribution of him being out there. Let's call it 36 minutes a game or something like that for all these years and doing something well. And I just want to make sure that's recognized, right? You're not always going to be a top 30 or 40 players. But, man, if you're in the top 100 or top 150 in the NBA, you're a beast. And shit, if you ever even made a roster, you're a beast. So let's go with that and show the guy respect. He may not be a Hall of Famer. He's been on some great teams. And
he probably will. Look, he was
borderline.
They were great. Yeah, they had a great backcourt. They were awesome, but he was never the same after the injury. And
Right.
so, like, it's not from a basketball standpoint. Signing Klay Thompson, 4 years or whatever is removed from the injury. He's an older guy. I mean, Steph's 38, so Klay's got to be somewhere in his mid to late 30s. And he missed 2 full seasons. Like, he had 2 bad injuries. He's never been.
I think it was about a season and a half. If you look it up, I think that's where we were at.
Yeah, that might be. So that's why it's not a big deal. There's nothing but respect for him. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I mean, you can't tell the story of Golden State in those championships without Klay. Between him and Steph, they had the quickest releases, and they just destroyed you from outside. They changed the game. But at this point in his career, unless he can get his stroke back, he doesn't have a ton of value because he's not going to beat you off the dribble anymore, right? And Ray early in his career had all kinds of moves. He was a great all-around player. Late in his career, he was a spot-up 3-point shooter, right? But he was really good at it, and it worked. So if Klay can turn into that, it'll help, right?
Respect to Ray Allen. Ray Allen was a monster for like all of his career, in my opinion. Granted, I'm a UConn homie, etc. But I will say that, like, even though he had like moves off the dribble in the first 10 years of his career, let's call it, and maybe you're right that he was a killer 3-point like shooter for the last 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it was. But he was also like he had the quickest release ever. He was so valuable in those big threes, right, in the Celtics, and he was so valuable in UConn back in the day. If you haven't, go back and watch his UConn highlights. He was a monster. But respect to him and respect to Klay. And look, I just want people to respect basketball and have a good time watching it. It's fun.
All right. Here's our weekly MLB update as we're getting closer and closer to the final push here. Look, what's going on with the Red Sox is getting absolutely absurd. What they do from the 8th inning on, it's nuts. Like, normally I'd look tonight and be like, oh, they're down 2-0. Marlins will close them out tonight. They've won 5 in a row. Now I'm like, oh, all right, well, let me just get back here. I'll refresh it in the 9th inning. We'll probably be up 3-2. It's getting absurd. They are now the best run differential in the American League. They've ripped off 5 again in a row, 8 out of 10. I mean, I don't know what do I do? There's nothing I can say. If they sit here and get to the World Series, Jimmy, what do I say after everything I've said?
I don't know. They could
tip my hat to the GM and say, sorry, buddy, my bad.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing in a mediocre at best league, right?
Oh, no. The Red Sox would be winning every division in the American League, and so I think some in the National League. Would they be? No, they'd be a couple games out in the East. Yeah, they'd be.
They wouldn't be with any in the National League. But they'd
be the top wild card in the National League, though.
That's my point. That's why they could make it happen, though, in the American League, because I mean, if Judge doesn't come back, as we've talked about, 100%, let's see what Stanton looks like. You can't possibly trust anybody in the West. I don't think you can trust anybody in the Central. And do you trust Tampa Bay? So who?
So here's my question: Do you think either the Yanks or the Red Sox can catch the Rays in these last 30 games?
That seems to be the hot debate around here. Yes, I think they can. Nobody's back far enough.
I guess would be the next question. Which one? Before you say that, I guess it's a loaded question because a 4-game series starts between the Red Sox and Yankees Friday.
Yeah, so you're gonna, I mean, if one of the two teams can go 3-1, or if the series goes 3-1, then whoever gets to 3, I guess, would have the best shot. And Tampa's not playing their best ball right this second, but did the Red Sox go back? Can they sustain that clutch gene? Yeah. Is that sustainable? And then can the Yankees keep winning games 3-2?
No, but because the Sox can hit and the pitching is there, and the Red Sox bullpen is good.
Yeah,
I've done a crazy turnaround because Greg was yelling at us at the end of May, or even before that, like, "Hey, my Sox are terrible." Then they made all those moves.
Second year in a row, this has happened.
Second year,
it's unbelievable.
But last year, I was on the other side of this. I said getting rid of Devers was the best move they ever made because he was.
I know, but in the beginning, it wasn't a great feeling. I was listening at that point.
Oh no, I was very see you later. Like, you're a douche.
Yeah,
and he was being a douche in the clubhouse. So This, I just
They're on a
didn't see.
tear,
I just
man.
did not see it coming. I mean, they are just. They're gonna. The problem right now, I think, for the Red Sox and the Yankees, is if this holds form, they're gonna have to play each other in that 3-game series in the first round.
There's nothing worse than that
I
stupidity.
know. So even if it's not the Red Sox, I'm going to root for the Yankees to hop over Tampa because I would much rather play Tampa in a 3-game series, even at the Trop, than or wherever the hell they play now.
The what?
Yeah.
The what? I saw the picture of that place the other day.
But well, it'll always be the Trop. Wherever they play to me is the Trop. I would rather that than go to Yankee Stadium or even have the Yankees come to Fenway if we leapfrog them for a 3-game set. So right now, I think your two best teams, even without Judge, are the Sox and the Yanks. And based on pitching for the Yankees, well, pitching for both, really, but the Sox can hit. The Sox can hit, especially in the clutch. Yankees can't really hit, but goddamn can they pitch.
It's true.
Yep.
And let's just point out how ridiculous Major League Baseball is. You play 162 regular season games, and then you shortchange us on the playoffs. How about you cut it to 158 and make it a 7-game series?
100%. I said this.
Screw that number.
I've said this a bunch of times. 140 games, and if you do that, if you want to make one series shorter, fine. The opening round, make it best of 5, like the wild card used to be, and then let's move the 7-game series, please.
Agreed.
Like I was one of the people who was so happy the NBA fixed it because when we were, I think, Jimmy, even still in high school, the first round of the NBA playoffs, people forget, was best of 5 a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was that until the early 2000s. I could be wrong, but yeah.
There were a couple teams that got upset. And you're like, God damn, like that's what happens in a 5-game. Let's play 7. See who the real team is, who can really get through these grinds.
That's a great point. You see the actual talent like come to where they need to be.
Especially in baseball, because now you got to get through that top 3 pitchers twice. You can knock off the Yankees in a 7-game series. You've accomplished something because they got
much
a lot
bigger
of
difference in baseball.
They got some big arms.
I'm going to find out about this NBA 7-game first round.
And then in the National League, it's just,
2003.
2000. There you go.
NBA, yep, that's right.
The National League is just, I feel what a gauntlet. And I know the Dodgers, especially if they get the 1 seed, are going to be a huge favorite. Best of luck, even winning 2 series. These
listen, the Dodgers are going to destroy everybody.
You're
look at their pitchers. Forget everyone else.
Their pitching sucks. Just
I'm
FYI.
going to step away to refresh my drink. You got to debate this.
The Dodgers pitching's terrible. Go look at their ERA. Go look at their ERA the last 60 games. Go ahead. You can chat GPT that. I bet you it's 4.
I will.
The Braves, solid. The Phillies are now on a run. The Marlins won't make it, but the Marlins are playing good baseball. The Brewers are the best team in the National League. Cubs are on fire. Dodgers are good. Padres are good. Diamondbacks are right there again, like they always do. They come out of nowhere somehow every year. The National League's loaded. Loaded. It's not going to be easy for anyone, including the Dodgers. My hot take is the Dodgers get knocked off in their first playoff series, whether it's best of 3 or best of 7.
I hate to be this guy that's like, I'm going both takes that are horrible. One, the Dodgers are going to run through everyone. Here's the other one. The Dodgers are going to be out and like have invested heavily in all these people. And those are my 2 takes. I don't know how it's going to work.
That's because you don't realize the Milwaukee Brewers are a good baseball team.
Don't start with that shit. I watched the Brew Crew go to the Little League World Series. It's a great time. They did a wonderful job, and they're apparently an incredibly solid team. So
I was close. 3.75 is the Dodgers starters ERA over the last
but
60 games.
I know that's the number, and I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying the people that are there, the people matter, and sometimes people forget about the people, so to speak. And when they want to step up, because baseball, as you just said, is a slog. That is a long ass season. Right. I really think, like in a perfect world, we should be down to 100.
We and again, we'll wrap up baseball here in a second. We'll get on to football, whatever I want to hear in 1 second.
That's it. Yeah,
we go through this all the freaking time with you. You don't understand that Milwaukee has a squad because you keep the Dodgers are going to do this, the Dodgers are going to do that. Milwaukee's the best team in baseball and has the best run differential and has better pitching. So I don't really want to hear this fucking Dodgers take anymore. The Dodgers will get knocked off this year. They will not be in the World Series.
I would like to go the opposite on that on the record, just to be clear. I would like to say they win the World Series on the record right now, 826. There's my number.
Yeah, like,
I would not like that. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I would love the Red Sox, even though I'm not a Red Sox fan, because I'm a Blue Jays fan. I would love the Red Sox if the Blue Jays can't get in to win the World Series, but that's not
Dodgers are minus 105 to win the National League. You're a fool if you make that bet.
No, I'm not telling you to bet it. I'm just telling you what I think.
I will tell you right now, the Dodgers will not represent the National League in the World Series this year. You can write it down.
We'll do a personal bet offline in some embarrassing moment.
Oh, you mean you want the odds-on favorite? Oh, great bet for me. Can't wait.
We'll just talk offline. I'm not getting into the specifics currently. I will have to define everything you talk about because you're that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm
Jimmy and I are the dumbs.
I'm not saying you're dumb, but I'm simply saying that you're saying the favorite is going to win. Well, great. Thanks. Like, no shit.
But you're telling us all.
They're not. I'm telling you they're not going to win.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. And you're saying it by a lot. So that's all I'm saying.
And the other thing
you're going against the Sharps.
I'm not going against the Sharps. The Sharps will be on the Brewers, the Braves, the Cubs, and the Phillies. No, there won't be a Sharp on the fucking Dodgers. And here's why.
Okay. So you're going against the big companies then.
Everybody knows the casinos are smarter than you.
Fair enough.
Sportsbooks are smarter than us.
I agree.
The Dodgers are minus 105. Their true odds are probably what, Jimmy? 2.5 to 1? Is that fair to run the gauntlet here in the NL?
Maybe 2. Yeah.
And they're giving you minus 105. But to go through a Milwaukee and an Atlanta or a Chicago and a Milwaukee or a Philadelphia even with Wheeler, they have a good pitching staff too, let's not forget, even though Wheeler got lit up the other night. Big Dumper. You see that, Jimmy? Big Dumper hit 3.
3. Yeah. 3.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dumper's crazy. Back.
Hey, now he's got 6 this year.
Yeah. Hey. Don't be rude. He's got 17.
You dig.
Yeah, don't be rude to the Dumper.
He's having a tough year. He's batting like 160.
He's having a terrible year. And what I love about him is he's owned it the whole time. Whole time. He tried to take a cold shower in his uniform to break the slump. He said, I suck at baseball. I mean, he's owned it. I like the guy because of that. Like, he has not made any excuses. He's basically said, I suck. And, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people run away from the camera, and he is not.
I agree with you 100% on that idea. Amazing. Owning it.
He owned it. Yeah, he absolutely owned it. And I so respect that. All right, before we get to college football and previews and picks, I got 2 stories I want to hit you with. Jimmy, do you think the TCU thing will affect them Saturday in Ireland with the safety beating up one of their wide receivers and now they're missing a starting offense and defensive member?
I mean, it's not going to help them. I mean, it's also probably pretty,
Sorry, I couldn't mute.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably a little weird in the locker room too. But
the safety's gone. He's off the team.
Yeah. His Fields.
Yeah,
he's
gone. Jacob.
It's very vague though. When you see the story, it's like the all the news is heavily redacted on it, and they don't actually tell you that it was the wide receiver. We're just assuming because this is what happened. But yeah, it was.
One of the stories I pulled said it was the wide receiver. It mentioned the kid's name.
Oh, did it? Yeah, I couldn't find it. Yeah, I couldn't find that.
Yeah, he got beat up pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, things happen. What are you gonna do?
That's a Jimmy Verga take right there. Things do happen.
Things happen. Not much you can do. Yeah,
things happen. Kids get beat up. You got to move on with life.
Yeah, I mean, fights happen. You run your. So we don't know what happened behind closed doors. Who knows? Maybe he owed him money. Maybe he ran his mouth. I don't. Who knows? Who knows what happened?
I love how you're on the kid side who beat up that's fantastic.
I am, and here's the reason I'm not because we don't know the whole story.
We don't. It's true.
We don't know the whole story, and very rarely does somebody just beat the living daylights out of somebody for no reason whatsoever.
That's true. It's fair,
right? Like that's the problem with this, and maybe the kid didn't deserve to get beat up, and it's fair, like to the point where he did. But there's a lot of dumbasses that think they can run their mouth, and sometimes you do it to the wrong person. And you get your ass kicked, and it's a life lesson. Right?
You know what? It's not a terrible take. But
I actually have to just pile on here. Like we all think about Fight Club, right? We all do, and that's the same idea, right? Don't pick a fight with someone you don't want to. Like it's just that simple. Like you go into a store, and hypothetical here, you don't limp in and like talk crap to people and expect to not get some, put back to yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's that simple.
And I want to be very clear because we could be totally wrong, and maybe Fields is just a psychopath and beat the crap out of this kid, right? But all of the fights I've ever saw in my life weren't just some psychopath picking on somebody and beating him up that bad. It's usually you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and there's something that most, not all, right? Because some kids came from tough neighborhoods and all that shit. But a lot of college football players have been the biggest kid in school, the toughest kid. Nobody's ever messed with them. They've never been punked.
No.
And then you get to a point and somebody punks you, and that's it.
Not a safety. A safety was your size, and they weren't the biggest kid in Erie.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Now,
but
if it was
sometimes
an offensive lineman, I'd agree with you all day, or even a linebacker, maybe a
tight end, maybe.
Yeah. All right.
But, so who knows? We don't know this. I'm not defending him. I'm not saying it was right. I'm saying we don't know what happened, and sometimes somebody has to get their ass kicked.
Someone has to get beat up sometimes. It's not a terrible take, but I'm going to tell you what.
It's not the worst thing that's ever happened to people, by the way. You get a little beat up, life goes on. Everybody loses.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You lose a fight.
Right. Do you want to interrupt my segue for the third time, or may I get through this?
No, Jimmy, go ahead.
No, it's Greg.
I know that was funny.
Ryan, are those new glasses?
For the third time, I was going to say not a terrible take, but what was a terrible take was, and it pains me because I love the Canes and I love the crystal ball. But Mario, to say the ACC is better than the SEC could be maybe the worst take of all time. It possibly could be, Jimmy. Your thoughts?
It could be. Apparently, he's got an ongoing thing with Nick Saban where he talks shit to Saban all the time. They're friends, and he tells him all the time about
it. That's true.
Right?
But to even say that is in public is just terrible. You want to say that to the dictator privately? Go ahead. But saying that publicly is just, I mean, come on, crystal ball.
Because you've got you got chalkboard fucking shit for your team all year long now in the SEC team they play. I don't have Miami's schedule in front of me. I'm assuming they play a handful of SEC teams, and now they all have material to work on.
You know, I don't have it in front of me either, but if anything, they would only play one. It would be Florida, maybe, right?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because they have Notre Dame out of conference that's independent. They'll have one other. Oh, is it? No, no, they're not LSU. They're ND. So maybe they play Florida. You can look that up.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
But yeah, terrible take there. Yeah, the ACC is, not so. Yeah, do you think Wake Forest was like, yeah, you tell them, crystal ball, we got you, Arkansas, we're better than you.
They don't have Florida this year.
Yeah, so what do they have? They have Notre Dame out of conference.
Hold tight, hold please. They've got. I am on the wrong schedule here. I was on Florida's schedule. Not our boys here in Miami.
Okay, bring up the Canes here. I know Notre Dame. In like November, right? They got no ND.
I'm almost there. It's taking me a while. My computer's running slow tonight.
Do you want me to just do it for you?
Yeah, I mean that might have been a good idea to start.
I thought, yeah. But, I mean the way you were talking about.
No, I'm here. I got it. They got They've got.
So Stanford's out of conference. That's their first game.
Mm-hmm.
Then they are at Notre Dame on the 7th. That's it, because we're not going to count this cupcake in Central. Way to schedule Florida A&M in Central Michigan, boys.
Yeah, they really have quite the schedule this year.
Just quick question: what do you think Florida A&M gets paid to go in there at 8 p.m. on September 10th and on Thursday night and just take an absolute beating on the ACC network?
I don't know, but they're one of the only teams I've ever seen with a negative power ranking. So
I bet you Florida A&M is pulling $1 million in to go there and just take an absolute pounding.
Oh yeah, probably. I would guess.
And I bet you, later in the year, I bet you Central Michigan is getting close to the same to go down there.
Later in the year, you mean 2 weeks later? If Miami doesn't start 4-0, then
Miami's going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Miami's going to go to Notre Dame undefeated.
Yep, and then they're going to win their last 3. Well, Virginia Tech could get iffy.
Virginia Tech, without giving too much away here, is, but it's at home. That's where Miami gets a nice little reprieve here. I told you this a couple shows ago, and I'm not backing off it. I think Miami goes to Notre Dame and gets another win. I think they beat them again.
Yeah, they're going to.
I think they beat them again. All right, let's start some previews. College football starts tomorrow in the FCS. So we get real college football tomorrow in the lower division. And then FBS starts Saturday with week 0. And we're going to give you our week 0 picks to end the show. But we're going to preview the big conferences. We're going to start with the Big 12 boys, headlined by Texas Tech with the most projected wins and one of the easier schedules. That's probably why. But we'll start with the Arizona Wildcats. Cats will go in alphabetical order here. Love the quarterback. He's coming back. He's got a Heisman shot. I think he's in the 20s or 30s to 1. I think, or maybe he's a little bit longer. Ryan, look up the Arizona quarterback, if you wouldn't mind, for the Heisman, his Heisman odds, and just yell that out when you get it. So, Jimmy, what are your thoughts, if you have any, on Zona? They are 10-1 to make the playoff, 19-1 to win the conference. From what I'm seeing at some books, they come off a 9-4 season. They're a good team against the spread, 8-5. They are returning only 4 on offense, but the quarterback returning almost the whole defense. Any thoughts on Arizona? Anything you see out of this team, or is it just a complete, like, not worried about them? Move on.
I think you're going to know real quick because they play BYU week 2, and they're going to be a dog. If they can somehow pull off that victory, then I think we've got a live one there. And if they can't, then I think it's, look, like I said, Texas Tech's the other big game. They've got Utah that should be close. They think K-State's going to be a close game. I'd bet against Arizona this year.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Jimmy on this one. Nothing to see here. I think they go to BYU and get smoked. Ryan, you got something here? What do we got for
Well, listen, we got this guy, right? He was there, and he's coming into the year, and we'll see what he does. But he's the active FBS leader with 73 career passing TDs, so that's something. And who knows? He's 100-1 right now.
100-1. Yep, we just pulled it up. 100-1.
Yeah, but that wins you a shit ton. So if you're having a good feeling right now, I mean, Arizona's a legit program. I mean, I think highly of them. If this guy already did what he's done so far with 29 TDs in 2025 and he had 3,200 yards, I mean, he's a beast. So you got to kind of feel it out. There's history with him, so do what you want.
Yep, Noah Fafita, I believe is how you pronounce it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry if I messed that up.
No, you're good. Arizona State bringing back a bunch, 25-1-ish to win the. Let's see what they're like. Yeah, 25-1 still the odds.
He's most likely, right? Like you got like 4 or 5 of them. That's all. So I know we think 25-1 is not a high pick, but it is.
What are you talking about? You're back on the Heisman? Or are you on Arizona?
Heisman,
that's
sorry.
100-1 for him. This is Arizona State to win the conference, 25-1.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Coming off 8-5, they're bringing back a bunch of people, but I didn't find them very impressive last year. I don't see a lot out of them this year. The schedule doesn't line up very well. I'll be interested against Kansas because I like to bet against Kansas. But other than that, I mean, I don't know, Jimmy. I don't see much out of here that we're going to see. The fact that they got to go to BYU, go to Texas Tech, and then their rival game is at Arizona, I don't see how this team's got a path to the conference championship.
I don't, but I like the over 6.5 win total. They're going to be favored in 8 games. They were in the playoffs. Kenny Dillingham, they had a great SportsCenter feature on last year, and obviously didn't turn out the way he wanted to, but he had them believing. They still pulled off 8, and you can get on DraftKings right now over 6.5 wins at -105. I think they pull that off, so I would take the over 6.5.
Go ahead, Ryan. You got something on the Sun Devils?
Nope, not currently. Sorry.
Right. I got nothing really on Baylor, Jimmy. I mean, they were by the way, terrible team last year against the spread. They were 2-10 against the spread last year. I got nothing. It's a pass for me with Baylor. I would not make a play on them either way, anywhere. You? Moving on. So BYU is interesting, obviously. They are the second betting choice, plus 550 right now to win the conference. There is some faith out there in this team. They had a great season last year. They were 12-2, 10-4 against the spread. They got Notre Dame coming to town on October 17th. That should be an interesting one. They should get off to a great start. They should win. They should definitely win their first 3, have a great shot to win at TCU, come back home against the Cyclones, who are going to have a down year this year. They could go into that ND game undefeated. This is an interesting one. They bring back the quarterback, 5 starters on offense, 8 on defense. How do you see it going for BYU this year?
This is another one where I like the win total over. their coach, and I know we're going to talk about the Big Ten in a second. Penn State tried to recruit him, tried to take him before they made their hire. Good coach. They're getting the quarterback to come back again. They've got an averagely tough schedule, but again, 8.5 is your number, and they're going to be favored in 10 games. I believe decent teams typically win one game they shouldn't. They may not, but one of the games is at Utah. Now we know BYU Utah is a tough game, and it's basically a pick 'em. So that's your 11th game. So to think that they're going to go, 9-2 in games that they're favored or basically even in, I think is very reasonable. So I actually really like the over here again. I'd bet the over 8.5 wins.
Yeah, and I get you. I feel that with at Utah, the Holy War, basically a pick 'em. That tells you the respect that they have for BYU this year. Anything on BYU, Ryan?
No, I think it's the over for sure. I think Jimmy's review was 100% accurate.
Jimmy, I got nothing on the Bearcats this year. They were our long shot last year. They gave us a little bit to think about, but kind of faded at the end. They were competitive, but I don't know. This year, the outlook for them, not good. I don't see anything here coming to fruition for them. I think they've got
the middle of their schedule is really, really tough, and they're gonna lose to Texas Tech. They're gonna lose to Utah. They'll probably lose to Arizona. So no, I think you avoid the Bearcats. Their schedule is tough as per the conference.
Godspeed, Dion is my opinion. I got nothing to say about the Buffaloes. I think they're going to suck again this year. They were 3-9 last year.
Most likely.
Houston is intriguing. They were 10-3 last year. They were good against the spread team at 9-4. They're bringing back almost the whole squad on offense and defense. This is an interesting team. Win total sits at 7.5 in most places. Schedule, not terrible. They got to go to Texas Tech. They got to go to Kansas State, which will be around to pick up. Go to Utah, which won't be easy. They'll be favored everywhere else. Man, this is an intriguing team, Jimmy. Can the Cougars do something here?
I think they can. Anytime you're bringing back that many players coming off a good season, why wouldn't you think they would, only get better? I think that obviously the Texas Tech game, you got to chalk that up to a loss. But other than that, man, I mean, at K-State, why couldn't they pull that game off? Utah, that's going to be tough. But I could see them as a 2-loss team this year, right? You're bringing everybody back. Your schedule's not terribly different than last year. And you won 10 games, right? I know there's a little luck involved, but I hate to be the guy that keeps playing overs, but 7.5 on there, and barring something major go wrong, I like the consistency, and I think they can do it.
I'm with you. We'll skip Cyclones and the Jayhawks. Nothing there. Do you have anything in Kansas State? I know they're like the fourth or fifth betting choice here, right? Fourth choice, 14-1 to win the conference. Do you think there's anything here in Kansas State, or is it kind of a pass for you?
It's a pass. I mean, I can't quite figure out why people are high on them. I mean, they have decent returning class, but when you were bad last year, that's not always a good thing, right?
Yep.
Unless they're really growing. They're starting the year off against Nicholls State, so if you want to bet them to go 1-0, then good for you. But yeah, no, I don't know. Their schedule's pretty soft. I guess that's might be the way you'd look at it, right? They somehow going to be favored against Arizona, be a dog against TCU. I'd avoid this.
How is Johnson still at quarter? He's got to be in like his 54th year at Kansas State. Is he not? Avery Johnson seems to how many years has he been there?
I have no idea.
Ryan, can you look up if he started a game in the 80s for Kansas State? Because I swear to God, Avery Johnson's got to be at least fifth year. Oklahoma State. Good luck, guys. It's like they were 1-11 last year. It's not going to get much better, boys.
The fact that the total is set at 5.5 is.
I hate to put the fact in here, but he was born in 2004, so he's 21.
So is his third year at Kansas State? Fourth. I mean, it feels like he's been there forever.
He's 21, so born November 2nd, 2004.
It's awesome. Can we look up his college stats and tell me how many years he's played at Kansas State, please? I'm just curious if it's fourth year. It's got to be his fourth if he's only 21. But doesn't it feel like he's been there forever, Jimmy? Because I feel like 3 years ago I was talking about him as a shot to win the Heisman because he came in with such height.
Yeah. Feels like a while.
The horny toads here. I don't know. I don't trust this team this year. Maybe you do. I don't. They are, where are they? 20-1 to win the conference. I don't know. I'm not a fan this year. They're bringing back 6 on offense, 6 on defense, new quarterback coming to town. I'm going to pass on this team. I don't think they win the Big 12. I don't think they make the playoffs. Obviously, I don't think they win the national championship.
No, it's a pass. I mean, Josh Hoover's in Indiana now, and I think that's all you need to know. They brought a kid in from Harvard, I believe. But I would pass on TCU.
All right. Before I get to obviously the main attraction here, I don't trust Utah. I don't trust UFC. I don't trust West Virginia. So they're all forget it for Mace. If you got something to say on any of those teams, I'll pass it to you. Other than that, I'm going to move right on to my conference champion and who I think represents the Big 12 in the college football playoff.
Nope, go for it.
Greg, kudos to you, sir. So Avery Johnson, his entire college career has been played at Kansas State. He's in his 4th year in 2026, so good job. 33 games, 27 QB starts. He has total career stats of 55, 76 pass yards, 48 TDs, 16 interceptions, and almost 1,400 yards rushing, which is pretty unbelievable. I know it's college, but...
Yeah, he's underachieved, unfortunately. All right, so... one of the easiest schedules you'll ever see coming up right now. But I think this team is talented. They're returning 15 total players from last year's team. New quarterback in town, but 7 on offense, 8 on a good defense coming back. 12-2 last year, 11-3 against the spread. I love Texas Tech. I think they win the Big 12, no problem. Their schedule is an absolute joke. The hardest game on their schedule is going to be, Jimmy, when they are correct me if I'm wrong, a 12.5-point favorite-ish at home against Zona. I think that they will be favored in every single game they play. And they will be double-digit favorites in every single game they play this year. Everyone.
Yeah. No, listen. We were talking about this last year, and we were on this game, and Barron went down. Will Hammond came in, and he played really, really well. The kid was a 4-star recruit out of high school. I think he's going to be really, really good. Now, he's taking over, so we've got a new quarterback, but we've got someone that was there before and showed us flashes of what good can look like. So I would be very confident with the weak schedule combined with, yes, a new starter, but someone that came in and played effectively, even though Baron Morton was the guy. I think I like Will Hammond. I think he gets it done.
Minus 115 to win the Big 12, which means, again, this means they have to win the championship game, just so everyone knows when you make this bet, doesn't mean they're regular season champs. When you make a future bet, DraftKings, FanDuel, you're betting them to win the championship game. So I think they win this game. I think they move on to the college football playoff, and then I think they can do a little damage there. I think they have a decent squad, good coach. We'll see how it goes. All right, Jimmy, we're going to end with the SEC because I just think it's the best conference, so we might as well end with that with our conference previews for our college kickoff show here. So we'll go to our conference next, and we'll go to the Big Ten, and we'll start running through these teams. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive year. I think we got a lot of good teams in here. We'll lead off with Illinois, who is 160-1 to win the conference right now at DraftKings. Not much good, I have to say here. I mean, coming off a 9-4 year. I mean, they have a good coach, but I mean, they're bringing back 11, so half of their starters. Not much on defense. I don't see it going very well this year for the Fighting Illini.
I don't either. I will take a little bit of, disrespect to the SEC being the best conference. Hey, the Big Ten champ last 3 years. They also have 9 teams.
It's true.
With a 7.5, with their win total at 7.5 this year, which is very impressive.
All
but
right,
that's
this way, the most intriguing conference this year is the SEC.
Fair. But yeah, I've got nothing on Illinois. I mean, look, the fact that their win total is slated at 7.5 with how hard their schedule is in this conference is, tells you that they're a decent squad, but no, they don't have a chance.
All right. Just because we're kind of going in alphabetical order. Next up is the third betting choice, plus 260. It's Jimmy's side piece in the Big Ten. I love the coach myself. 16-0, straight up. 10-6 against the spread. our defending national champions, bringing back 16 starters, basically the whole defense, and the defense was phenomenal last year. Schedule sets up pretty well. Jimmy and Ryan, you better have a take here. What do the Hoosiers do this year? Jimmy, your thoughts?
Look, they make the playoffs. 350 is a little rich. You might want to swing it with another team that you think is a sure thing. But what did Kurt Signetti say at his press conference? I win. Google me. And he's got that many players coming back. And you can say, yeah, he doesn't have Mendoza coming back. He doesn't. But nobody knew who Mendoza was before he got there. Like, he was a transfer. Josh Hoover played well for TCU last year. So, I think that is a home run. At 8-1 to win it all, I wouldn't go there. And the Big Ten, as we're talking about, is stacked. We're going to talk Ohio State. Obviously, we're going to talk Michigan. But we're going to talk Ohio State and Oregon, the top two choices. It's too stacked to do that. But if you want to lay the 350 and wheel it with another team, an SEC team, another Big Ten team that you think can't miss, if it'll allow you to parlay that, then I think you do it and you don't look back. Because Ryan, when are we gonna stop betting against the guy? He said he wins and he just keeps doing it. So
he does.
Yeah, I think there's no way. And then you look at the schedule. It's not a tough schedule. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, unless Nebraska steps up, 6 games are going to start off it. Then they go to Ohio State, then Michigan. But then they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. I mean, worst case scenario, they lose 2 games this year.
You're plus 800 to repeat. You're really solid up front. You got 18 transfers, including what you talked about with 60 returners. So it's going to be challenging, but you're not a monster anymore. We all know the quarterback is the thing that we've got to address, right? And I don't know. I didn't look it up, like who's coming in, but it's got to be a big dog because otherwise the rest of the people don't matter as much.
Yeah, look, I was the one going against Jimmy last year with this team, and they proved me wrong. But you know what the good news was? The few times that I really bet them heavy was Ohio State, because I hate Ohio State, so they did me well there. Yeah, the schedule is fantastic. It sets up well. I don't know how on earth this won't be the line on October 17th. But if Ohio State is the favorite in Indiana, I'll be backing the truck up.
Absolutely.
Now, what I think plays really, really well, Jimmy, for us is it's Ohio State at home and at Michigan. Because if they beat Ohio State again, we might get them in a letdown spot, which would be nice for us. Because they might be on upset alert when they go to the big house. So that's good for us. I think a team that everybody might be sleeping on this year, at Washington, could be a tough game on the 21st of November.
Oh, yeah?
Washington's got a good squad. They're 24-1 to win this conference. They're probably the one I would lean to as a long shot. Maybe Iowa, who we can talk about next, but don't sleep on at Washington. That one could be one that picks them off and kicks them out of this championship game, the conference championship game, I mean. So that's my Indiana take. Next up's Iowa, and they're an intriguing team. 42-1 right now at DraftKings to win the conference. They're not bringing back many, but I don't know. The coach seems to always have this team ready to play, and especially the defense. The schedule, to me, it's not terrible. They're going to be, for the first time in a long time, it's going to be a huge spread in that rivalry game. Always played week 2 of the season. They're going to be a huge favorite against the Cyclones at home. Cyclones are going to have a terrible year. They don't look good at all. They decided to pound on the other 2 teams in Illinois. Well, not in their state, but in Illinois. Northern Iowa come to town. So Northern Illinois, and then they pound on their Northern Iowa team. At Michigan, Ohio State at home, at Washington, at Minnesota, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Purdue, at Illinois. That'll be a tough one. On Nebraska. So, and the schedule's hard, but if they're good and their defense is as good as it's been a few years ago, I don't know. I mean, maybe
they lost 7 of their top 8 defensive linemen, according to what I'm reading.
Yeah, but they always reload. This guy always has them ready to go.
I know, but it's tough. I know we think of those like farm guys, right? Like we all thought about it. You know,
Farm guys on the offensive line.
But that strength is there's something to be said for that. But I mean, I don't know. That's tough.
Hey, look, they're 42-1. It's not like they're 3-1. Like, I get
Sure,
it.
yeah, they're
A lot.
but they're turning over a lot of people.
But, hey, maybe is what I'm saying here. I got literally, Jimmy, unless you got something on Iowa, we can skip them. I got nothing for you on Maryland.
Nope.
Sorry, Ryan. Unless you got something. We're going to skip over that team for a second. We'll go to Michigan State. I got nothing here. I think they're going to be fucking god-awful again.
You know, it's sad.
It is. It is sad. They were the original no-fly zone, Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to figure it out.
They do.
Put Izzo on the football side.
I agree.
No problem transitioning.
I'll be the first to admit.
Make it worse.
I'll be the first to admit I like when Fleck has a team and the Gophers are good, but they were 8-5 last year. They'll be right around 500 this year. They're not going to do anything. I don't see anything out of this team. Quarterback's back, but I don't think it matters. Do you, Jimmy?
No.
Okay. Corn Huskers can go husk some corn. They're not going to do anything in this conference. They suck.
They're not. And what a fall for Matt Rule. Like, Matt Rule was the hottest college coach. Goes to Carolina, highly touted, and now that's the only thing. Like, if he's a really good college coach and you're getting a win total of 6.5, like, but they got a tough schedule. They've got a really tough. There's the only reason I'm pausing here is because it seems like Matt Rule's got to be able to figure out how to manufacture 7 wins if he's that great. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really set up well for him.
No, unless Darnell Autry's coming back to play for Northwestern, we can skip right over them.
That's a long time ago, man.
You're not lying.
It was great.
Oh my god, yeah. They mid-90s maybe? Mid-90s? Early, like 93, 94.
No, maybe like 2002.
Darnell Autry was like 93, 94. You can look that up.
Was it?
Yeah, look that up. And then he
that's
didn't.
The only reason I know anything about it.
No, that's what look it up. Look up when Darnell Autry played at Northwestern running back, and he did not go to the NFL. He became an attorney instead. Penn State. This is going to go one or two ways. Matt Campbell's either going to be like, hey, look at this, Franklin, or they're going to just absolutely suck, Jimmy. Your thoughts?
Look, this is what Penn State has going for them.
Schedule's easy, Jimmy.
They don't play Ohio State.
Yep.
They don't play Indiana. They don't play Oregon.
Yep.
Right? Like, that is a gift from the Big Ten gods.
It is.
Their schedule is borderline a joke. You're basically
3 games it comes down to. USC at home, at Michigan, at Washington.
And if only they got USC later in the year at home, I'd feel more confident about it, right? Because you'd have USC coming all the way to Pennsylvania in the cold weather. I still think, I got to tell you, I think they win 10 games this year. I think they're back.
All right. So you're in that. So look, you should play it. If you agree with Jimmy, play it. Jimmy's in that camp. I'm in the other camp. I don't think they'll be very good. I don't. I think they're going to lose those 3 games that matter. So I think they'll win 8 games probably. They'll probably lose another one they shouldn't. But it's a good take. If you agree with Jimmy, you should bet it. And if you think they can win 10, you should bet them to make the college playoff because they probably will. We're not even going to talk about these next teams. I'll get to you in a second. Purdue, Rutgers, and UCLA. You can all kick rocks. Go ahead, Ryan. What do you got for us?
Greg, I am very impressed with you, especially at the age of this answer. Autry, 94, 95, 96. God damn, dude. You were not really of age even to know that. I don't know why I remember it. That's why I thought I was like early 2000s, but way to go, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, the only thing I'll say about Rutgers is, does Greg Schiano have like a lifetime contract here no matter how bad Rutgers is? I don't understand.
They tried to not chop wood, and it chopped them into not being relevant ever again.
Yeah.
They got to chop the wood.
Well, they kick off with UMass, so there's a win.
We're not running down a Rutgers schedule just because.
Yeah, let's move on.
Do you believe in USC? Do you believe in Lincoln Riley here? 9-4 last year. Bring him back. Basically everybody. Bring him back the quarterback. This could be the turd in the punch bowl for a couple teams in this conference.
So they don't have. So here's what's going to fall apart.
God.
The end of the year, right? Because now the Big Ten is a nationwide conference, and they have to go to Penn State and then go to Wisconsin. Then they're back home for Ohio State, but then they have to fly right back to Indiana, right? So it's 3 games on the other side of the map.
I hear what you're saying, but if you think they're actually good, they can beat those teams.
They could. I think that Penn State game, that's the one, right? It's early. It's too.
Yeah.
If it was later in the year, I'd feel better about it. Wisconsin's the other one. Michigan State and Wisconsin. Like, what happened to Wisconsin? It's very, very sad.
Unbelievable that they suck now.
Yeah,
they used to be like a running back factory to the NFL.
Yeah, it really was. But I think they lose at home to Ohio State, and they go to Indiana and they lose. But yeah, could they win every other game? They could, except Oregon.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Jimmy. That's the one I'll give you. I think September 26th we'll know what we got with USC. If USC beats the Ducks at home, look out. We don't have a player. If the Ducks go in there and beat them by 3 scores, all right. Good night, USC. It's going to be what you are. You're going to lose 4 games and not be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Huskies, who's another one that sits in this 24-1 range? Could they be the turd in the punch bowl?
I don't think so. But to your point, they are a good team, and it's tough to go play there.
They're going to start 4-0 with a bunch of confidence. Because they're going to blow these teams out. They're going to blow Washington State, Utah State, Eastern Washington, and Minnesota. They're going to blow the doors off them.
No, you're right. They have Penn State and Indiana on the road or at home. Sorry, so that plays to their favor, even though they're tough games. And they've got Iowa at home, another, as discussed, tough game. Their road games are Purdue, Nebraska, Michigan State.
And I'll tell you right freaking now, if they go to Oregon on 11/28 and they are a 1 or 2 loss team, and the Ducks are a 1 loss team, that game is going to be a lot closer than what that projected spread is, which is 16 points. That game is going to get very interesting very quick, and the Huskies will give them all they want in that situation. All right, we will close with the big 3 here. Let's start with Ohio State. I'm not even – Jimmy, go ahead. I'm not even going to give a take on Ohio. You know how I feel about Ohio State. Fuck Ohio State. Go ahead.
No, well, I agree. I like how they took the high road on the NFL transfers. Good for them. Way to go.
Your quarterback's back. Great. He sucks. Why do they care so much? He's back. He's awesome.
Julian Sayin isn't great. They're like I agree. I tend to think that he is not nearly as good as people seem to think he is.
The fact that he's the 5th betting choice at 12-1 to win the Heisman is an absolute joke.
Yeah, I look. They've got a pretty tough schedule on top of that, right? So
I did it last year. I'm doing it again. They're down. They're coming right the fuck back up, and you can hook them all you want on the 12th. Arch Manning is going to throw all over this team, and Texas is going to get the revenge they deserve. Hook them all day.
Well, it's in Texas this year. It was at Ohio State last year, so
that
plays in their favor.
That would be so fun. Like, the media would be great around that.
Yeah, look, they've got Indiana, USC, Oregon, Michigan, and I know they think they're going to blow Michigan out, but it's always a tough game, and Texas. They also are at Iowa, who we discussed is going to be pretty tough. They have a tough schedule. It is a daunting schedule. I think they sneak into the playoffs. They don't win the Big Ten.
I say they do not win the Big Ten, and they miss the playoffs. They lose 3 games this year.
Well, that would be great. That would be fantastic.
I will go to the next one because it would be unfair to not end with Michigan for Jimmy, and I'm a fan too. So, but my conference champ is the next one. The Ducks will fly together. This Ducks team is going to win this conference, and they are going to have something to say about the Natty. The quarterback could have been a top pick this year. He will be possibly the number 1 pick next year. They are loaded this year. Defense is great. Offense has been completely reloaded. Quarterback is back. Probably the best quarterback. I know Arch Manning, he's got the name, Jimmy, so I don't know what to say. But Dante Moore could be the best quarterback in the country.
Yeah, he was way better than Arch Manning was last year.
I know, but you never know. Like Arch Manning, if he plays this potential, I don't know. I hate going against the Manning name. You know how
I love the Mannings. I think Arch is going to be fine. He didn't look at the beginning of last year, but it was almost unfair with the last name, the expectations that were put on him. No, yeah, I love the fact that
And the
Dante
Ducks
Moore.
have a great running game.
Yeah, I just love the fact that he decided to come back to school. I think it was the right decision. He doesn't have a ton of starts under his belt. I think that getting more is only going to help him. I think he will be the number one pick in the draft next year.
Ducks will fly together.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty tough.
How do you see it going for Michigan?
Well, I think they're going to be better than people think they're going to be. That's what I think. I think that.
Well, I don't think people think they're going to suck. They're 17-1 to win a very, very tough conference.
They are. Yeah. But, look, the thought about, Bryce Underwood was basically the top recruit coming out of high school. And we talked about it before. He was 17 when he started his career. Like he was a kid, literally a kid still. I think he's going to get a lot better this year. He showed flashes of why he was the top recruit, and I think it's only going to get better. I think the fact that they've got Whittingham there, I think he's going to instill the right attitude in the program. He's going to stabilize an otherwise unstable program that had been through multiple problems over the last few years, starting with the when Harbaugh was still there, and then of course the Sharon Moore debacle last year. Yeah, I think they're going to be good. They don't have an easy schedule, but they've got the sixth toughest schedule. That's really what's working against them.
So I'm not going to sit here and tell you. I think it'd be unfair to say bet them to make the playoffs plus 250. They're going to be great, and me going on this big run that I go on every year with Michigan, telling you how awesome they're going to be. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I will give you my prognosis on this team when we do our show the week of 9/13. Because if Oklahoma comes, because I think Oklahoma is going to be good, which we'll get to in the SEC. If Oklahoma comes to town and we dominate that team, then I'm going to tell you we're probably running the table until we see Ohio State. And yes, I think we beat Indiana at home. That's what I'll tell you. But let's see what happens against Oklahoma, because I think that's the barometer of how good we are and can be. Because I go into every season saying, all right, well, I know the defense is going to be good. Can we score points? Let's see what we do against Oklahoma. All right. SEC, Jimmy. This is the most interesting conference to me this year. I'm just going to start throwing teams out there. I will tell you, Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State, you can throw them all in the garbage can. Do you agree?
Yes.
Do you have any faith in Auburn? Because there's some sharps out there that think Auburn could have a good year.
No, I don't.
I don't either. Vandy kick rocks, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's his name is gone, and they did look good last year, but I don't. Without the quarterback, I think Vandy goes back to who they were post Jay Cutler.
We had a lot of fun last year with Diego.
Yeah, Diego Pavia.
Pavia, yep. I don't trust South Carolina. I like, the coach was a nice story, but I just don't think they have the formula.
They probably don't, but I got to tell you, again, Lenora Sellers coming back again. He was my early pick for possible Heisman last year, and obviously didn't turn out well. But he's a hell of a player, and another year under his belt. The Sharps aren't giving him all the love.
They're not.
So
Missouri, I got no faith in. Tennessee, no faith in. You?
No.
All right. So let's talk about, let's get to some of these top heavy teams. So I'll throw it to you. Let's start with Bama. What are your thoughts on the Crimson Tide this year? Because they are a little bit, believe it or not, it's crazy to say with a team like this, they're a little bit of a value play.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think Kalen DeBoer's got to get over the hump this year, or he's going to be they're going to be clamoring for his exit. And I think they owe him a lot of money. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they do.
They probably do. Bama quarterback.
No, Kalen DeBoer, the coach.
Oh, the coach. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about
yeah. So I think it's going to be problematic. Look, it's tough to follow a legend. It's even harder to follow a legend with a completely different set of rules, right? So he's in an era post Nick Saban with NIL. It's a different animal altogether. So look, I think they're going to be good. The question is, Ty Simpson's gone. So what happens, right? The idea was that, there's a redshirt freshman. Who knows what we're going to see out of that? I don't know. I don't trust Alabama. I think Kalen DeBoer is a good coach despite all of it. I think he's been dealt a almost impossible hand. to deal with, right? They've got a very tough schedule.
They do. And that's I thought you were talking about Russell. You were talking about the DeBoer. So Russell's a great recruit. He's going to be the starter. He's a redshirt freshman. That's what it's going to come down to. I know it's Captain Obvious, right? But can Russell lead this team to where they need to go? Can he replace Ty Simpson? And you're going to have to be an upgrade over Simpson because Simpson only got him to 11-4.
Yeah. And look, their schedule is theoretically really difficult, but it comes down to 3 games, right? To me, we just talked about we're not interested in Tennessee. It comes down to Georgia.
Georgia at home, but
A&M,
this is why the SEC is so hard, Jimmy. At Tennessee, they could be a dog. You can't go to Rocky Top. If that game's at night, good luck. We saw it happen. Was it last year or the year before where Tennessee destroyed them?
Yeah, it could happen. Could happen. I'm worried about the A&M game. They'll be a little bit of a favorite, but A&M's a legit team. And, then LSU. The game that that what's his name is going to be looking at because he wanted that Alabama job, right? So he's going to look to prove a point. I don't know. It's a tough one. I somehow will take their win total over, and they have no chance to win the SEC.
Okay. Fair enough. How about, do you think we can stomp the chomp this year or no? So, no faith in Florida.
Nope. You?
Yeah. No, not really. I wish I did because I'd love to sit up here and say, like, my favorite line, if you're not a Gator, you're Gator bait. You know what I'm saying, Ron? But unfortunately, not going to happen this year.
Nope.
So, Kirby Smart, Georgia, I think this is going to be a very, very good squad and a team that has a real shot at the Natty.
Seems to be a popular pick. Georgia.
They're loaded, Jimmy. Just loaded.
Hey, I know. And a lot of people coming back. And Georgia, they were very, 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 very good until they
got the best
ball.
of the best.
Yeah.
As a parent, I know this. Like, these kids are my daughter's age, starting to declare D1, D2, D3. It's insane the amount of kids she's played against that are like monsters. And she's beat them or lost them or whatever it is. I'm not saying she's the greatest, but it is amazing to see these kids and how they're evaluated.
And look, Gunnar Stockton is he's a perfect, solid Georgia quarterback. So they're going to be a tough team, Jimmy, a very tough team. And the schedule at Bama will be tough. Obviously, at Ole Miss will be a little bit tough, but those are the only 2 games. They get one of those 2 games, they're a one-loss team.
I don't know that name, but regardless, that level team is never going to accept a 1 or a 2 of any lesser caliber. That's just the thing. So take that for what it's worth from a betting standpoint.
Here's your most intriguing team, Ryan. Near and dear to my heart, the LSU Tigers. Coming off a disappointing 7-6 with a terrible coach. They now have a decent coach in Lane Kiffin. Jimmy, what do you think here? Could they do it in his first year? Could they make the playoff, win the SEC? Could they do all the things?
Yeah, I think they could.
I think getting Levitt is just huge. So, I mean, the fact that they have him starting at quarterback from Arizona State, the year that Arizona State went bananas in 2024, that's huge. Huge.
I think they could. I think as much as Lane Kiffin seems like a lightning rod for attention and problematic in the press, I think his players like him. Right? That's why a lot of them followed him from Ole Miss, and that's why he's able to get these recruits in the portal. So I think they're good. I think they make the playoffs. You can get that at plus money right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And
make the playoffs. You can get you certainly can get a plus money.
Yeah, I would take them.
I'm all with Jimmy here. There's nothing I'm thinking about anything otherwise.
Is it Boomer Sooner or no good?
I have no you know more about Oklahoma than I do this year. You're high on them being decent. I mean, Venables seems to be a pretty solid coach.
He's you got a solid coach. You're returning 9 starters on offense from a decent offense. You're bringing the quarterback back in. You got a very, very, very hard schedule. That is what's playing against you. You got Michigan on the road, Georgia on the road. You got to play Texas. You got at Florida, which it won't be easy. You know, Florida's not the best team ever, but you're going there. You got to play Ole Miss. You got to play Texas A&M. This is a very, very, very challenging schedule. That's why their win total is set at 7.5. So I think they'll be competitive, but I wouldn't take the numbers on them just because I don't think they're juicy enough. 2 plus 210 to make the playoff with this schedule, or 13-1 to win the SEC. Not enough there for me.
Yeah, let's see if Mateer can stay healthy this year. That's going to be the difference.
Down to plus 950 to win the SEC. All right, Ole Miss. How do you think this goes? I think it's fantastic. Golden in his first season. They get LSU, third game of the year. We're going to learn a lot in that first game against Louisville on September 6th. What do you think from Ole Miss?
I mean, Chambliss looked really good last year, if I'm not mistaken, and he's coming back.
Yep.
And they've got a lot of other as many people as Lane Kiffin managed to take. They have 16 starters coming back. I think they're going to be pretty good. I do. I think their schedule is tough, but it's not. You can overcome it. I got Louisville, Charlotte. I've got them beating Florida, beating Vandy, beating Missouri, beating Auburn. I mean, then they end with Wofford and Mississippi State.
Yep.
So
could be solid.
Yeah, I think 1, 2. What did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins in the total 7.5. Right, and I think they do it. Now, are they going to go to Texas and win? Unlikely. Are they going to win at home versus Georgia? Probably not. Don't know. Oklahoma, but I think with that talent coming back, barring major injury, I think they get to 9 wins. I think 7.5 is a gift.
You have a take on A&M. I am part of the fade brigade on A&M. I don't trust them this year.
I mean, they're very talented. They've got a good squad.
I'm gonna be fading them this year. I'm gonna go under their win total, and they do not sniff this conference.
Man, they had a good squad last year, and almost everybody's coming back. Oof. I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna say they're again. We keep saying tough schedule, but anytime you play in this conference, it's probably going to be kind of a tough schedule, right? It's not a surprise. But no, I'm an A&M believer. I like Mike Elko. I think they get it. I think they get to 10 wins.
Yeah, I think they had a weak schedule last year. They played it well. They took advantage of it. But I'm gonna fade them this year. The other team in Texas, I'm gonna buy on. They have the hardest schedule in the country, but I don't think it'll matter. I think the Longhorns are absolutely freaking loaded on both sides of the ball. I think they're going to go to Ohio State. I'm sorry, Ohio State's coming to them, excuse me. They're going to beat Ohio State. That's going to springboard them. I think they'll pound Oklahoma. LSU will be a tough game because I think LSU is their biggest competition, and I think they'll roll right through the Aggies this year. I love Texas to win this conference. I think they beat Georgia in the championship game. Give me the Horns to win the SEC.
You're very well
with a small slice on LSU. Need a little disclaimer. Go ahead.
Yeah, you might be right. I think they've got some tough games. The Oklahoma game will be that's a neutral field, correct?
Yeah, at the State Fair.
River Rivalry.
Yeah, River Rivalry at the Texas State Fair.
Yeah, I'm not as bullish as you are on them beating Ohio State, and I think they could lose at LSU. So I'm going to tell you, they may pull it off, but I am going to. Man, you're right. It's a tough one. I am not going to say they win the SEC. I think this is almost unbettable unless you take a long shot because there's so many good teams that betting them at 3-1 isn't good enough for me. I would take Texas, and if they'll allow you to hook them with Indiana to make the playoffs, you'll probably get slightly plus money, and I think that'd be my bet. I think Indiana
have more than plus money. Texas is 3 plus 320.
No. Texas is to make the playoff.
Oh, I thought you meant to win the conference.
No. I would take Texas and Indiana to make the playoff and parlay that together. Because Indiana's minus, I believe I said 250 or
Minus
300.
minus 109.
There you go. That would be my play. I think both those teams end up in the playoffs. You can book that.
All right. Speaking of the playoffs, we'll address the elephant in the room. Yes, Notre Dame, unfortunately, will probably be in the playoff. Grossest thing of all time. I'll bet the no just because I hate them. So I think the no you get like almost 6-1. Let's see if I can find. If you can find the no make the playoffs on Notre Dame, let me know. There it is. Yeah, 5-1. I'll be betting that on principle. Hate the team, hate the schedule, hate the rules, hate it all. Hate their fans, hate every comment that came back to us about them being corrupt and getting this stupid top 12 rule when they play their own made up schedule. Like,
I was muted. Throw $5 of my money on that.
yeah, I will. I hate them so much.
Thank you. I'll pay back.
Jimmy, is there anyone, and we can breeze right over this if the answer is no, anyone college football playoff wise plus money that you'd recommend play on?
Ooh, that is a good one. Anyone plus money. So, I mean, the obvious thing I could say is Michigan, but that would be just too obvious. But I'm going to stick in the Big Ten, and I'm going to tell you, I meant what I said about Penn State. I think Penn State ends up in the college playoffs, and you get them at plus 320 right now.
Okay. So mine will be what I kind of talked about on our last show. Unfortunately, I think the UNLV is too short now at 9-1. I like James Madison 15-1 maybe, and I'm looking to see where they are. I don't know why I'm missing it. Oh, New Mexico 13-1. Those would be my two I give you. One of these obviously teams are going to get in from these not Power 5 conferences. So James Madison, New Mexico. Those would be the two I give out. Obviously, Boise State's going to be the sexy pick, but I take a shot on those two for the value. All right. So for those of you who are loyal listeners, obviously we appreciate you. But Jimmy and I made a bet during NBA and NHL playoffs, which was a very good, very competitive bet. I'm not going to sit here and say I smoked Jimmy in any way, shape, or form. Jimmy got some bad luck with some of his long shots, and I got lucky with some of my NHL teams that kept winning. So I took him down. So we are going to do a double or nothing bet. The dinner in the city I have thrown off the table. We are going to pick 8 future bets for a theoretical unit. Whoever wins the most units at the odds is the winner. If I win, this is the good news because we'll have a great show when we do our Selection Sunday. If I win, Jimmy has agreed he will put us in the building Friday night for the Big East semifinals in Madison Square Garden. So that is what's on the line for Jimmy. Either getting 2 tickets to that or off the hook completely.
Let's go.
I am going to pick first because that's what Jimmy said he wants me to do. And my first pick is going to be an NFL division champion. I went back and forth on this, Jimmy. I didn't know. I didn't know where I wanted to go. This one was tough for me. I wanted to go the Titans. I wanted to take a shot, but my heart of heart tells me that the best bet on the board to win a division this year, give me the Detroit Lions plus 170.
All right, interesting. Didn't know you were going to go that way. I am going to go, and people are going to think I'm nuts here. It's going to be similar. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys plus 205.
It's an awesome pick. It's a really good pick.
It's gonna look. There's only 2 teams that have a chance, and Dallas, if they stay healthy, they're going to be very, very good.
I think that's a really good pick. All right, so Jimmy's up next, and he is going to give you his pick for an NFL conference champion.
This gets a little dicey. I got to tell you, it's very difficult because I'm not going to pick a favorite in either one. But I don't like the second, third, or fourth team either, and that's where it gets tough. I'm going to take. I'm going back and forth on this, but I'm going to do it to pull the rug. 10-1 to the Cincinnati Bengals. Get back to the Vogue Bowl.
Yeah, good pick. Bengals 10. I'm going to give you 10 plus 10.25 to 1 is what I have. So I'm gonna give you the better number there. All right, so Jimmy took the Bengals, which is in my opinion, is a good pick for the value. I am gonna take chalk here because he took the Bengals. I don't love the NFC. I think it's way more wide open. Give me Josh Allen to finally get there. Give me the Bills to win the AFC 5-1. All right, Jimmy, and snake draft. So you're up again. Who wins the Super Bowl?
No, the snake would be you're up next.
No. I go 1, you go 2, 3. What are you talking about?
You're right.
Right.
We did that. No, you went 1.
Right.
I went 2, 3.
No, you didn't.
Now you go 4, 5. Yeah.
No, you picked the Bengals, silly.
Yeah. And I picked
no one.
I picked the Cowboys at 2.
After I picked the Lions.
Lions, then I go 2, 3, then you go 4, 5. That's how snake works.
It's categories. We set it up. So you get to pick first in the Super Bowl. I picked the first conference. You pick the second conference, and you get to pick. I picked the division. You pick the conference.
Clearly, Greg doesn't remember how his Nokia phone and Snake worked back in the early 2000s. But I'll go next.
I'll go. You want me to pick the Super Bowl?
No.
I'll happily pick it. But this is the third category, so why wouldn't you pick the second and third?
I thought it was just straight up Snake, like pick.
Because we set categories. So you pick your Super Bowl champ. You're not you. That's the fair way to do it. You're next, and then then you're right. I go 4, 5.
All right. So Super Bowl champion. This is tough.
I know it's very tough.
Very tough. I don't know if I go this way. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yo, let me give you 30 seconds. Take 30 seconds. Whatever
No,
it
it's
is.
tough. It's tough because, hey, look, I picked my conference champ. Do I want to double down and say they're also winning the Super Bowl? Do I want to hedge my bet a little bit and go to the NFC?
I get it. I didn't even know I had that power. I just threw it out there. Take 30 seconds.
The problem is when I look at the NFC, I think to myself, this is difficult. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to chalk it up. And I'm going to go Rams.
Good
because you know what? On paper, they should get it done. So let's ride it out.
Okay, and I'm going to do exactly what Jimmy just said. Just in case he picks it right, my Super Bowl champion will be the Bengals at 20-1. So Jimmy gets the Rams at 5.5 to 1, and I will take the Bengals at 20 to 1. All right. Next up is MVP. Jimmy, can you guess where I'm going here? And you're going to have to give us the live odds that we're going to lock in on because you have them and I can't get them in this dopey state. All right, guess who my MVP pick will be? It's weird because it's going to go very, very much in sync with my
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, so I'll take Joe Burrow. Is he what, 7, 8?
Oh, yeah, I'm
8.5. Got 8.5 there.
So I'm going to take Joe Burrow 8.5 to 1. Jimmy, who is your MVP pick?
I am going to go. Okay, I don't think I want to go that route. That's a good pick, by the way.
Thank you.
We're not going to. I could go for a long shot here, but I'm not going to. I got a plan for a long shot. I'm going to tell you at 10 to 1, Justin Herbert gets it done.
That's a good. I like it.
I'm all aboard.
Herbert 10 to 1. Great pick. Great.
That's a better bet.
It's not a better bet. It's a good bet. It's a great follow.
It is better.
He would
stand.
He would trade for Joe Burrow right now if I offered it to him.
No, absolutely not. But we're not going into that.
Okay.
But Herbert, absolutely.
He's sitting right there. You just ask him. He'll give you the answer. He'll give you an answer.
Justin Herbert. Come on.
All right. We're going to conference champion.
Conference champion. I'm up. This is going to blow you off your seat. Jimmy, here is my long shot play of our snake draft. To win the ACC, 28 to 1, VTech.
Yeah. That is that's a bold proclamation.
Yep, that's my pick.
All right.
So you get the next 2 conference champions are yours, my friend.
You know what? I'm going to go straight up against you. I'm going to chalk this one to death. I'm going to tell you Miami. All
right, so you're going to get me and Jimmy agreed at the beginning of this that any odds on we would just make 1 to 1. So we're going to give him Miami at 1 to 1.
Yeah. I think that's a lock.
Congratulations.
So I'll take my one against your long shot because it gives me a unit, you know?
Okay. Good for you.
Good for
Because
you
everything
guys.
else we picked so far could not hit.
That's
so
fine.
I could be up 1-0.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Who's your next one?
Okay. So this is where it gets a little dicey. Because do I go small conference, really dive in? Go big conference. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go. Well, I got two that I'm eyeing. And I think what I'm going to do is go with the longer odds on it. I'm going to take LSU 8.5 to 1.
All right. Respect it. So, strategy-wise, it was because he took Miami, it would make sense for me to counter here with Texas Tech. But you know what? It's double or nothing in my favor, so I'm not going to do that. I've said for months upon months upon months now that I love the Ducks. So I'm going to take the Ducks to win the Big Ten plus 240.
Okay. It's a good bet.
All right. So I am up with the Natty now, correct?
You are.
Ooh. Do I just keep going?
Just say Notre Dame and get it over with.
Yeah, never. The 2 6-1 shots, I'd rather get hit by a Mack truck than pick either of them and win money on it. My question here is, do I just keep true to myself and say the Ducks are winning it, Ducks are winning it, Ducks are winning it? Or do I hedge a little bit here and give myself a second team? And that's what I'm going to do. The Ducks just haven't proven to me they can win the big game. And my heart is going to make this play, which I know will bite me in the ass, but I don't care. 10 to 1. Give me the Canes to run it back, but do it this year and become the national championships. Give me Miami 10 to 1 to win the Natty. We just missed last year. We gave it out at a much bigger price on this show and just missed, Jimmy. But Miami's my Natty. My second pick and the one I tell you to bet with the smart money is the Ducks. Go ahead, Jimmy.
It's interesting you say that.
Take them. It's a great bet. It's the one I have real money on.
So I'm going to take the Ducks. I considered Indiana, but the chances of back-to-back feels, even for my guy, Kirk Signetti, like a little bit of a long shot. I mean, Dante Moore, if he's going to be the real deal, needs to step up and prove he's going to be the real deal. I want another Big Ten team to win it, so I am going to take the Ducks 7.5 to 1.
Good bet. Good bet. Heisman Trophy will be our last pick. This is it. It is so tough because there's value. There's so many ways you can go, but in a bet like this, I'm stuck between two, and they're near the top. But because of the hype, if they have good seat, I'll throw Carr right out the window for ND. By the way, I'm stuck between Arch Manning and Dante Moore. God, I like the Miami quarterback too. My God, I got 3. Jeremiah Smith can eat me too. This one's tough. Oh, it's a tough play here, Jimmy. You know what? I'm not going to munch chalk. I'm not going to go near the top. I'm going to make a strategic play here. Jimmy's got me cornered at 8.5 to 1 in the SEC. If LSU wins the SEC, I would be shocked if Levitt didn't put up huge numbers and have a shot at this Heisman Trophy. Give me Sam Levitt to win the Heisman Trophy 25 to 1.
All right, so I'm going to go even farther down the board here because I'm going to take because this is going to be like, if this hits, right? The problem is I'm between two players.
Who are you between? Talk it out.
I can go one of two ways. Both are long shots, obviously.
Yep.
Both are 30-81. So my heart, Bryce Underwood, he's going to step up. He's going to do it. And he's a Michigan guy. Love him.
Oh, and Sellers?
Nope. Malachi Tony.
Tony.
Okay. If Miami is that good and they win the national championship like you think they're going to be, he was unbelievable last year. And he was a kid as well.
Yep.
He's so good that, I mean, he's going to be a phenomenal pro as long as his health sticks with him. It's a really tough one. I'm going to go Malachi Tony because they play the easier schedule. Yes, a quarterback usually wins it, but this kid's so good that he could pull it off. 38 to 1, Malachi Tony wins the Heisman.
You got the Heisman, the Natty, Conference. So I know where we're at. We got an MVP. We got the Super. We got the AFC champs, and we have a conference champ. All right, Jimmy, I think this is a pretty good bet. It's going to be fun to see how it plays out. So we got a few topics left from a fantasy standpoint. I'll just hit a couple of these. Are there any players right now, as we get very, very close to people's drafts, if you haven't drafted already, are there any players that you are like, I am freaking avoiding? I have a couple, but are there any on your board that you're like, I am not freaking drafting this guy?
I mean, there's always a few up there, right? You know, you hear about injuries, you hear about this, you hear about that. I would avoid Drake London because I don't know who's throwing him the ball.
Okay.
So, like, he's a good player. I get it. He just signed a big contract, but because we don't know how he's going to get the ball in his hands on a consistent basis, and both the quarterbacks on his team currently are prone to injury, and the fact that Kyle Pitts has stepped up and become a weapon, I would avoid Drake London where they have him ranked like the plague.
All right. For me, I will give you a few, and Jimmy, please chime in if you have more as I say this. For quarterback, I'm avoiding Jalen Daniels. I've heard it has not been a good camp. The offensive line looks shaky at best.
And, it's supposed to be a sieve. It's supposed to be terrible.
And bad karma there after what he's done. For a running back standpoint, I'm doing it again. I just have that. I don't root for anyone to get injured, but Jimmy will be the first to tell you my injury radar for some reason the last several years has been on, and it's on again for CMC. I just don't think he makes it through this year healthy. So I'm avoiding McCaffrey. And then from a wide receiver standpoint, this guy is just fucking weird. And I'm not Puka. I'm not taking him. If I'm in the position to take Puka, I'm passing. I'm just going straight to the next receiver. I don't want anything to do with this guy this year. He is weird. Between the drinking and the eating McDonald's every meal, like, he's a weird dude.
Yeah, the only thing he's got going for him is Stafford loves to feed his top receiver the ball, but he will just beat a dead horse, and he's good at it. He gets him the ball, but I tend to agree with that. Like I said, I already gave you the receiver I would avoid. I don't trust. Look, Malik Neighbors is coming off an injury, and I know you love Dart, and he's showing signs of being good. But
I'm just gonna say this: I like Dart from a fantasy perspective because of his rushing yard upside, and we can get him late in the draft.
Which makes sense. I just think. Yeah, the guy he's got a penchant for being hurt.
Yeah, a cultural change
seems
too.
Like I don't know.
I feel like the Giants are going to be good this year, and that's the first time I said that in quite a while.
Giants are one of the most interesting teams out there.
There's a lot of, but there's a lot of potential down too.
Before we get to some week 0 picks, Jimmy, I said we were going to do this on the last show, and then it ran a little long. Not that this one isn't running a little long, but I will quickly run through this. Jimmy and I have some in-pocket futures. These might have changed from an odd standpoint now, but this is who we played. If anyone wants to follow us, NFL MVP, we like Baker, Hurts, Shug, and Burrow. Burrow being our most units at 8-1 that we played. Coach of the year, we took KOC and Salah. Those were our 2 plays for Coach of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year, we took with our heart. We took Donald. So we'll see if they give him the award just for fun. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we took Lemon, the receiver for Philadelphia. And I think we're going to take a little bit of a slice on Jimmy's Browns receiver before the season starts. We'll see what happens. I don't know who's throwing on the ball, but from what Jimmy said and what I hear from everybody who's seen this kid at camp, he seems to be the real deal. So we'll probably get a little slice there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Emmanuel Warren, 40-1, Caleb Banks, 60-1. Those are a couple long shots for us. Offensive Player of the Year, we went Brock Bauer for a long shot, Abuka as a long shot, and JJ, because he said he's going to be the best receiver in the league again at 12-1. Defensive Player of the Year, we went Hutchinson, Bonito, and Will Anderson Jr. Put a unit on those guys, see if we can get one of those home. Then we got some parlays, division winners. We parlayed Vikings, Jags, and Bengals. It gets you 41-1. We have a cross sports parlay with Eagles to win the East, Chargers the West and LSU to win the SEC, get you 46 to 1. We got 187 to 1 Bills to win the Super Bowl, LSU to win the Natty. 15 to 1. We got Bills to win the East, Lions to win the North, and the Ducks to win the Big Ten. And then 40 to 1, we took the Texas Tech to win the Big 12, Canes to win the ACC, and because we are who we are, Michigan to win the Big Ten. So those right now are in-pocket futures that we played. So if you want to follow, that's what we took. All right, we'll quickly hit these in the last few minutes of the show here. Week 0 picks. This TCU line just keeps going up, and away. Jimmy likes the hoodie. It's now up to 9.5 from 6.5. Are you still back in the hoodie, or are you not going to play this game, Jimmy?
I'd like it a lot better if it was 10.5, but I will back the hoodie.
Jimmy talked. Hey, I'm going to admit it. I got a terrible number. Thank God I only put 1 unit on it, but Jimmy talked me into this a long time ago. I have North Carolina getting 7.5. I hate the play. So I put TCU at the beginning of the week in a teaser, and I have TCU getting 7.5 in a teaser. That I really like. This game for me, I don't have a solid side on. The USC game, I got a much better number. I love the over here. I got it at over 56 at one point. It's up to 60.5.
It's a lot of points. All scored by USC, most likely.
Virginia 4. This was 5.5 at one point. I think it got as high as 6 during the beginning of the summer. NC State seems to be a sexy pick out of the ACC. So makes me like Virginia even more.
Yeah, I'd go Virginia.
I think North Dakota State slaughters Jacksonville State. I know sharps are all over Jacksonville State. I don't really care. I know they think for some reason North Dakota State's going to forget how to play football because they're in the FBS now. I don't think so. I think North Dakota State wins this game, and if you want to put them in a teaser, I think they're the best teaser play of the week. Anything here?
No opinion.
Yeah. All right. Next one for me was Stanford. I'll give the points here with the tree. Love Stanford to beat Hawaii off the island.
I agree. It's off the. If it was in Hawaii, I'd go the other way. But yep, I think Stanford gets it done.
And then my last play here. This number was all over the freaking place. At one point, it was 3.5. It got as high as 6.5. It's now sitting at 4.5. Juiced more towards Memphis. I don't think Memphis is going to be that great this year. UNLV can score points, and they're very tough at Alliance Stadium. Give me UNLV to cover the 4.5. No problem. I actually think they win this game by double digits. I would say the Running Rebels, but they're only the Running Rebels on the basketball team, so they're the Rebels. Give me the Rebels.
Just the Rebels. Take the Rebels. Take the Rebels in Vegas.
All right, look. All we got left for you is football, and more football. We will not have another show just like this one without picks for games that matter. We just gave you our week 0 picks. Next week, we'll have a full NFL preview for you. We'll have real picks for college week 1. I am so happy football is here. Jimmy, final words.
Deshaun Watson, what are we doing?
All right, that's 2 weeks in a row. Ryan, what do you got?
Let's go NFL. Love it.
Join us next week for our NFL preview. Have fun with week 0 here. Have fun with the fake PGA championship if you're into that. U.S. Open next week. We'll have a lot to talk about. See you next week.